Hey guys, it's Sandy and I'm here today with two photos from the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party Parade, and it is these two, and they are very reddish and orangish and definitely have a Halloween feel to them. This one, Ralph is looking right at us. This one, he's facing the other side of the street. But this was added. We have gone to the Halloween party twice, once many years ago and once in 2015, and these were added. Ralph wasn't in the parade last time. So I definitely want to scrap these photos, even though they might not be the most perfect photos out there. So I have been working with my kit. Really, Disney and this last scrapbooking challenge is the only time I ever really work with a kit. So I've got some papers and other such things from there. Some really old Paper Bliss pumpkins that I've held on to for a very long time that I'm excited to be able to use today. So I am going to go ahead and get started.
Okay, so I have already stamped some stars on my background paper with some Versamark ink, and now I'm just fitting on my two 4x6 photos here, and the 4x6 photos aren't exactly 4x6 because they don't spread all the way across my page, so I go ahead and just nip that little teeny bit off. And now I'm like, where am I? I think I'm looking for my border punch here. Yep. Alright, so I found my border punch. I'm using some Simple Stories cardstock from some Say Cheese collection, not sure which one, and I'm just lining up the end of it on that left hand side, and then I just flip it around and go ahead and snap away on this border punch. And I've got to say, this has got to be probably my favorite scalloped punch that there is. Alright, so that one is going right on the bottom. I just, for some reason, just knew right away that that's where I want it to go. And then I had this very thin little strip with words on it from the Chamel Starshine paper pad. That was left over from my Rediscover Your Stash kit, and normally I'd throw away something like that. Like that little piece, I don't hold on to those sizes. I just don't use them. But for some reason, I kept that one, so I thought, you know what? The blue matches the rest of the blue in this album, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. And then I run away again. Oh, I had to find my ATG. I started off with my pink ATG and then couldn't find it. Like, in the 2 minutes it took me to stamp those stars down on the paper, I lost one of the ATGs. So I had to find the red one real quick, and I'm just gone ahead and put that down there as a border across the bottom of the page, and the little edges are hanging off the red because I trimmed it, and you know what? They're still hanging off. I need to trim that page. Alright, so I had gone off camera and embossed that green arrow. I just used some Versamark ink and some clear embossing powder, and I think I'm going to want that kind of like hanging off over the photo, but I'm not a fan when I actually get it finished. So I go ahead and cut the arrow completely out, and for some reason I wasn't feeling confident with my ability to cut a straight line with my scissors right there, so I went ahead and used my trimmer. And I'm like, yep, okay, so I can see the stars poking out a little bit underneath kind of that newsprint picture, paper, that's not a picture, that paper right there, and I'm liking it. So I grabbed some pop dots, and I'm going to pop dot this little arrow up. And you can't really see it very well in the video here, but you can see the stars in person. However, I am actually going to cover up every single star on that top part underneath that I Want Candy. Here is another piece of that cut apart sheet. It's from the Simple Stories, one of the Halloween collections. And I'm going to put it down here on the bottom And I'm actually thinking I'm going to journal on this page. I think I'm going to journal what I talked about in the beginning about how this is a new to us ride, or not ride. I wish I could ride in that thing. How it's a new to us part of the parade, but I end up not journaling on this page at all. The thing is I'm going to have so many parade pages that I really don't have enough to say to go across every single page that I have. So I'll probably do a little bit of journaling, and then I'll have a page where it's just going to be like all photos and maybe some little bit on top. So I'm going to try out something here with these foam letters to see if I can get it to ink with my gold Heidi Swap Color Shine. However, it doesn't work. It kind of just like sits on top of it. It doesn't really soak in. And I'm in my art journal, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to, not waste this and get some gold on this page. It does something weird, so I spray some more gold, and then that's what I'm doing now, and I spray more gold, and finally figure that's enough gold as a base layer on my page and set it off to the side. So I'm going to pull out my Distress ink because I know for a fact that they will color these foam words, and these foam words came from Freckle Fawn in one of their kits, so I'm really happy with the level of darkness that hooray word has turned into. And then while I'm doing that, I'm realizing that I need something across the top of that photo as well. And I have this film strip paper, and that's from one of the Echo Park Disney collections. They're not, they're not really Disney, but it's Magical Adventure or Magical Moments or one of those. So I have to pull that text print out, pop my little film strip under there, and that's hanging off the side of the page too. And sure enough, I never trim those off. I need to get over there and trim those off. Okay, so I'm happy with this, and I'm like, ooh, bingo cards. This is from the Simple Stories. I'm not exactly sure why I think film strip and then go, oh, bingo cards would be a great match for that. But for some reason, it works in my mind. So I decide I'm going to go with like the black and the yellow one because I feel like that should go up there. And you know what? I really like how it says fun first and then smile. And then I end up putting smile first and then fun. Oh. I guess I changed my mind right then. Yeah, well, either way, I like both of them, so I'm happy with it. So that's all I can say. As long as you're happy with your pages, right? Sometimes even when you're not exactly happy with them, it's done. Count it done. Move on. Make something else that's beautiful and wonderful. So I don't want like smile to be completely covered up, and here is where I'm like, oh my goodness, you can't see any of the stars that I have stamped on this page. But you know what? I like it anyway. So I'm taking the rest of the yellow bingo card and bringing it down to the bottom underneath of those pumpkins and next to that cut apart card. And I'm realizing my page is down low. I actually put a little teeny bit of washi tape down on there so I would know not to bring my page so close to me. And I'm still struggling with remembering that I can't pull the page so close to me. So I just pull out this little banner. It's actually like a toothpick banner that you would buy at Michael's. It's one of those recollections party things. I've had it forever. I've got a whole bunch of them. So I throw that down because even though my letters can't be gold, I still want some gold, on this page. Not sure why. Halloween, I think, metallic. I don't know. Maybe because it's sparkly. Who knows? So I take these little wooden alphabet stamps and I stamp MNSSHP, which stands for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And it kind of reminds me of the Mickey font, so that's why I chose that. And I'm happy with that. And I'm not even sure where I am. Oh, I went to pull out some stickers. I really wanted to put this banner on the page Originally, I thought maybe it was going to be at the top of the page when I was thinking about where this page was going to go and what I was going to do when I first looked at these photos. But then I thought, you know what? Nope, I'm going to have it go underneath of everything. So it's like peeking out and kind of like sneaky there. It's still there. It's still a banner. To me, it still looks like a banner. I hope to you it still looks like a banner, but I'm happy with it. So I just put that, and it goes underneath the black scallops and underneath the pumpkins, but on top of the cards, and then back out on the scallops again. And now I'm just finding a couple little stars and hearts that I still have left over on these big sticker sheets. So I get those on there, and then I find this little ticket, and I think, you know what, it needs a little pop of red up here. So I get that on there, and then I have that awkward space between the smile and the magic entry ticket. And I'm going to take care of that in a minute, but I'm going to get those stars and those hearts put down right now. Alright, so I'm just messing around with these little hearts and stars. I really like those sticker sheets because they've got all these different colored hearts and stars and such things that match the rest of the collection. So you can just put in a little bit of each one. And I finish messing around with them, and I decide that now is the time to put on that hooray sticker, and I don't realize it, but I get it all over my fingers, so I'm going to eventually smudge. And I'm just messing around to see which color of Mickey head I want to put on that banner. Sometimes in my Disney albums, I put a Mickey head on every single page. For this one, I just am putting it on random ones. And this is where I'm deciding that that little bit of space up there is really bugging me. So I'm going to go ahead and put this diagonal black and creamy white piece up there. And I'm just going to mess around with it a little bit to where it looks pleasing to my eye, and I like it like that with it poked out a little bit above that red magic entry ticket. And then I think I'm going to bring it down to the bottom, so I go ahead and pull it down there. And somehow or another, the plastic cover piece to my ATG has fallen off, and I just let it go to the ground, and I'm going without the cover. That's some serious scrapbook in there, I guess. So now I'm just messing around with this little flare. I couldn't tell you where I got it from, but I decide that I like it kind of nestled in there with the arrow and the hooray. And I am overlooking at more stickers, and I find one, and then I discover I still have some more little hearts and stars, so I decide to sprinkle those around a little bit. And I feel like it's still kind of missing something. Like there's something there that needs to go, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. So I grab this little tag, and I think, oh, these little Mickey pant looking things would be good. So I cut off the top of that tag and tuck it under the little journal box area here. I call it a journal box, but like I said, no journaling's going on this page. And I just mess around a little bit and decide where I want it to go and pop that little star down. And I'm super happy with that. And I pull out my little homemade enamel dots. I made these a while ago with perler beads. Oh goodness, it's been years. I made them before we moved. And I pull out the black ones, and I'm just going to sprinkle them around because I've realized I am practically out of black enamel dots. And I think that this page really would be best with the black ones. So I'm just sprinkling them around. I think I get 3 on the top and 2 on the bottom because I'm using that black Mickey head as kind of one of my enamel dots. And I go over and I get my little dot adhesive from Scotch, but it's really not giving me the sticky I want. So in a second here, I'm going to give up on that, and I'm going to grab the ATG. And I gotta say, I used to use my ATG for everything. Like, you name it, and I used it. I never had liquid glue. I never had dot adhesive. It needed to be stuck down. I pulled out the ATG. But I've discovered
other great things since then. But for these homemade ones, I guess I could have pulled out some Zots, but I just went with the ATG. I'll have to pull out the Zots for next time and see how that goes. Alright, so I'm looking at this and I'm like, it needs something, so I'm going to get a little bit of gold Heidi Swap Color Shine, just tap it around to finish it off, and just a diagonal. And so I'm finished with this one and about ready to start the rest of the parade pictures. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Bye.